Rocket Pat here. All right, guys. Happy Daytona Day. The number 3 car made it to victory lane, and I'm happy to say that makes me very happy. Congratulations, Austin Dillon and RCR. Very good win for you guys. If everybody had a good Daytona day. All right, let's see what I got done on the 1947 Chevrolet pick-em-up truck. Some of the things I got accomplished this week. Not the carburetor yet. I keep saying I'm going to do the carburetor, and it keeps sitting there, and I haven't got it done. I did get the fuel line painted right. I also found the correct shocks finally. I had too long of a shock, and I'm going to tell you right now, I bought that kit, and that kit's available on a few different places to change this from a knee shock over to regular shocks. But the problem I have with it is there's no instructions anywhere of where to put this stuff. So I'm kind of just guessing it, winging it, that might be a good location. It's the only place I could make that bracket really fit. Even that down there, it's cantered forward, and I just couldn't figure it out other than there. And then I had to take a chop saw and cut it, or actually I used my bandsaw and I cut that and then drill a new hole and all that. Not so 100% in love with that one, and I got the same problem with the back shock. I'm gonna have to get that and cut it so that it fits all the way down in that hole. So that's some of the things. One of the things I got repaired this week was I didn't have anything to tie this together right here, and I had to make these little, I don't know, they're probably 3/16. I don't know how thick that is. It's pretty thick. Little bracket deals, and find the right bolts and get them painted and everything. I got that done. So now the intake's completely on. Replace this little heat riser spring, and this is closed. What it does is, just so you know, here's another intake right here from the 216. When that butterfly comes down and closes like that, it's closing off the exhaust manifold on the bottom there and making all the air, the exhaust, go up here to heat the intake up, so that it warms it up, I'm sure, for when it's cold outside. And then when it flaps over that direction, it actually opens that hole up. So we got a new one of these springs, and as you can see, it moves just nice. I don't have the heat gun over here. I'd make it move on its own, but it does what it needs to do. So I'm happy about that. Got that fixed. The next thing I did was I finished up my lower bracket, got it back on. Then I realized my biggest problem was I had the belt that I had for it. It was really hard to get it to go over the pulleys. It was a little too short. I hit the side of the block with the alternator trying to move it that way. So this ended up being too short. So I took and cut it right about where that bend is, and I added about 1.5 to 2 inches to it so that it can get in there. I could even get a bigger belt on it if I want to now. Make it a lot easier to do all that. But I got today I made my cable. It's a nice cable. It's booted. It's a copper lug. If you can see right there, it's a nice copper lug on that, so it's not gonna have ever any problem. And I just tied the red wire into the copper lug and plug it in. It'll charge, no problems. Got everything bracketed on, as you can see, going down up underneath. We got the cable nice and secured so that it's not gonna get caught on anything, no any of that kind of good stuff. Got it coming around over here. Got it bracketed nice, bringing it down. It's still not on the bottom down there. I need to get a longer bolt for one of the oil pan deals, and I'm gonna put another one of those down up underneath so that it comes around the bottom like that. So that's what I got done. I got my rocker arms in this week from Windy City up there in Chicago, and these were the 2 rocker arms I was having issues with. If you look, there's 6 of them that go straight, and then there are 3 that go to the right and 3 that go to the left. And if that was what I was screwed up on. I was missing one of these. And so now I got a nice set. Everything looks good on them. They're nice and tight. Thank you, Windy City, for getting them to me right away. They came right along just like they said they would get them to me. everything went good there. So let's see, I still haven't got any sheet metal for that. I need to do that. And I still don't have my tranny back yet. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, I got my, I worked on this radiator. We got the new radiator and it looks nice. Except for there's kind of one problem. I worked on, well, I'll tell you about that in a second. First off, I got the body work done. This had a crease in it. It was folded over. I don't know whatever happened to it, but it was folded and I got it out. And it had a dent in it right here where it kind of V'd in right there in the center. So I hammered and dollied that out a little bit and I sent that way a little bit. It's not perfect, but it'll be okay. And that little run in the paint right there, there's pan that covers that goes, and it also holds the hood latch and everything, so that gets covered up. It's really only this section right here and this section right here that you even see. All this down here is covered up with the fender, the inner fender and everything. Okay, so here's the new hiccup in the pickup. And it's gonna take some more welding and stuff like that. Let me get some more light on this. When they put this radiator together, you see how this level is and you see this level right here? They're not the same. Well, also, that's not the same. Well, I'll show you. The distance between here and here on this L bracket that goes up the side of this radiator. Not saying any names. So this one is the original radiator, the radiator we had before. And if you look, it comes all the way up to the top up here, to the top of the rail on this, where the bolt's gonna go, so meaning that this is actually sunk down more. And also, down here, you see how close to the front of the core the bracket goes? And also, this hangs down a little bit lower than what I got right here. So, this is steel right here, and this is steel. And it's spot welded on it, I'm sure, with some just, you know, in some places. So what I'm gonna have to do to fix this, because the problem is, it's not there, it's down here. You see how close that is to the fan? I'm sure you see that. So it's so close to the fan that also the fan's touching the lower radiator hose out. So what I'm thinking is I'll take this off maybe next week or next weekend, and I will find the spot welds on this piece of L bracket, relocate it up a ½ inch up there, bring it up so that this sinks down level to this right there, so that this whole thing will sink down, and I'll bring this level down to basically where that's at right now, so that that whole thing will sink a little bit lower, and that'll get that to drop down where I can clear that fan. And then I'll take this bracket and I will bring it up to the front of here. Let me see if I can leave that light like that so you can see it. Okay, so bring this L bracket up here, and that'll move the core back into here where I got all the room in the world. Man, back it up a little bit, brother. Come on, man. So I guess that's where the problem is. That's where my issue is. And I made these brackets, and this is gonna hold the radiator just fine, so that once I start it, I can leave this on there, and then I'll just put the fenders up, and they go up under here. So it'll be all right. I'll be able to make it. All right, so I think that's all I got done this week on the 1947 Chevrolet pick-em-up truck. I'm getting close to getting juice going to her, and I still haven't done the distributor, getting the points and all that in it. It's coming. I'm getting close. It's getting there. It really is close. I got a completely built cab right there. I'll give you a preview of the cab. That thing's completely wired. It's complete. Set it on. Everything's ready to go. Hook these wires up right here and start it up. It's literally that good. It's done. All the weather stripping's in it. The dash is in it. So there's your preview of what the inside looks like. We got, I don't know if we can see it too well. Got the, anyway, I'll get some better pictures for you guys. It's pretty dark out right now. But anyway, I got some stuff to talk to you about, like on these chrome trims and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to redo these. I scratched them, but I figured out what the problem is. Because I put this back window in by myself and I had help with this one, and I still got one corner glass I still gotta do. I put the windshield in by myself. I put the doors together by myself. I polished this thing by myself. I did everything here by myself. And as you can see, I am very proud of this truck. I even had to, this part is for the door, and this part's for the cab, and I had to graft it together and everything. And watch how this door shuts. Bam, baby. There you go. Rock Pat's grinding it down over here. I got my barbecue pit ready. It's primed. I got a couple of prime rib steaks over here. Let's go see what we got here. We got us a couple of steaks that I've been letting marinate in a little secret sauce I like to make up. It ain't so secret. It's just, what is that? Zesty Italian and some barbecue sauce. I like to make it like that. And I got my little grill going on over here. And man, I live in Texas. I'm so ashamed. I really am. Anyway, y'all keep rocking. I'm gonna get my grill on and get me some grub on, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Y'all keep rocking.